being financially abundant, being abundant in all ways on a new earth. You have to get out of the limiting vibrational frequency that abundance just means money, because it doesn't. Abundance is abundance is abundance, and abundance is literally everything. Your experiences, plural, your experiences as a human being, experiences equals abundance. You are always experiencing, which means you are always abundant in everything that you experience. If you limit, because of the mind control and the brainwashing from patriarchal duality, old earth, that brainwashing, that programming to get you to think of abundance as only meaning money, 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 or financial, that right there is why so many people are trapped in that old world, old matrix, old earth, patriarchal enslavement planet, prison planet. Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast, your highest source of sacred truths and universal wisdom. Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Rachel Fiori, mystic, spiritual teacher, psychic healer, and founder of Masters of Self University. Join our journey of soul transformation as we deep dive into this latest episode. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast. I'm Rachel Fiori, your host for this episode. Let's talk about a new earth. Let's talk about earning money, being financially abundant, being abundant in all ways on a new earth. So, we still live in a financial system. We still have a financial system when it comes to money. And when I talk about abundance in this episode, first of all, you have to get out of the limiting mindset of the limiting vibrational frequency that abundance just means money. Let me be clear, because it doesn't. Abundance is abundance is abundance, and abundance is literally everything. Your experiences, plural, your experiences as a human being, experiences equals abundance. You are always experiencing, which means you are always abundant in everything that you experience. If you limit, because of the mind control and the brainwashing from patriarchal duality, old earth, that brainwashing, that programming to get you to think of abundance as only meaning money, 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 or financial, that right there is why so many people are trapped in that old world, old matrix, old earth, patriarchal enslavement planet, prison planet. Okay. Because you're thinking, you've been programmed to think of abundance as only meaning one thing. So you extraordinarily limit, you create a temporary illusionary reality of limitation when the only thing that you define as abundance is money. So that's the first thing that needs to go. That needs to get the hell out of here, because every experience you have is abundance. It's an experience of abundance, even scarcity and lack. You're creating a bunch of scarcity. You're creating the abundance of scarcity that you will temporarily experience while you're here. It's temporary because it's the illusion, but it is a created reality. It's very real temporarily. You understand? And so creation is abundance. You're creating an experience of. You create an experience that is nothing but abundance. You're creating, you're infinite, you're eternal. You can only grow and expand and have more experiences and more experiences and more experiences. That's all abundance. It's nothing but abundance. That's the way of truth. And the more you experience, it doesn't matter what you're experiencing. You're still experiencing abundance. Violence, harm, rape, fear, it's all abundance. It's just the experiences of. You are experiencing nothing but abundance, because abundance is the only thing that exists, because it's oneness. Oneness, if you actually know what that means at some point in your life. It is the all, it is everything. There's no such thing as actual scarcity in the truth as the way of truth, of source of all things. There is a temporary created reality of an experience called lack, scarcity, etc. not enough. That is an experience there's an abundance of. Do you see? These are oneness consciousness teachings. When you realize that energetically, it's easy to then energetically transform the limitations that you're placing on yourself. And you've been tricked to place that on yourself. You're brainwashed and mind controlled. That's part of the fucking play. Unfortunately, that's done by design. You're in this weird play called human life. And you're a puppet in that play until you awaken enough to realize the truths as the way of truth of these things, which means when you wake up, this is real awakening, where you realize how this actually works energetically, and then you can change things, right? So if you awaken to the truth that you are experiencing nothing but abundance 100% of the time, because abundance means experience. And as the Trinity, you're the creator, the observer, and the experiencer of what you've created, because you're the creator source. That's you. You simply experiencing anything and everything you experience means you're experiencing an abundance of experiences. That's abundance in and of itself. You see it? Okay. Now, when you understand that, I am going to take one form of infinite creations of what abundance means. One example is financial abundance, money. Okay. And humans have created, the parasites, the cult leaders of the world, created a system, a monetary system, to where they can control things, they benefit, and they enslave people with it, and they keep everybody in scarcity and survival and blah, blah, blah. There's so many layers to this old system on old Earth. Now, new Earth doesn't exist this way. But if you don't learn and you don't understand as the way of wisdom, you don't become the vibrational frequency of the way of wisdom, and you're just in complete ignorance. Number one, you'll never actually exist on new Earth. Even if you temporarily in these next few years do, you will not stay there permanently. You will be back on old Earth. Vibrationally, you cannot exist on new Earth if you're not the vibrational frequencies of new Earth. You don't get to be on new Earth because you're like, nice. That's not what new Earth is. It is a vibrational frequency. It is a dimension of frequencies. That's it. If you are not yourself as a multidimensional being vibrating as the frequencies of what new Earth is, you're not there. You have to understand and master energetics. That's why we teach it. The number one thing that we teach across the board is energetics through everything that we do at Masters of Self University. There's a reason for that. So those of you who are like, oh, but I'm so advanced. Are you though? Come on. Let's not get trapped in the spiritual matrix with this crap, or are you just going to be on old Earth and you learn the hard way? I don't want that for you. I honor that as the way of honoring. That's your choice. Whether it's a conscious, I'm aware of this choice or not, is another question. And that's another teaching. Okay. So the frequencies of what a new Earth is exactly that. It is a dimension of frequencies. And if you are not vibrating in those frequencies that make up a new Earth, then you're not new Earth. And you get anchored into, because you're anchoring yourself into old Earth because of the frequencies you are actually vibrating at versus how you like to think. It's not about what you want. And it isn't about what you think you are and your perception of blah, blah, blah. It's what you actually are vibrationally. Okay. So what you actually are anchors you into old Earth or new Earth. Those are your two options. And your options are not about anything, your perception or anything you want. It is about what you actually are at a vibrational level. Okay. So if you understand that, because that's the basis for this teaching, if you understand that, then you can understand. We're going to take one example of abundance, just one out of trillions that I could use, because we are still a system for now, at least, a financial system that requires us to have what we've created and invented and called money to utilize, and you still need it to pay for rent and housing and food and whatever to a degree. Okay. So when we still have that system, and let me say one more thing, the system itself doesn't fucking matter. Y'all, wake up for real. It's not about, well, we should just have bartering and trading and, oh, shut up. Stop it. You're anchoring yourself, oh, fucking earth. Quit it. The monetary system, it doesn't matter if we actually, the system itself, whether we use money to the degree we use it now, whether we use it to some degree, and there's a multi-layered system that includes bartering and trading, and lots of things are for free because they just should be. Like they should be. Hello. Why the hell are we charging for fucking water? Like, it's ridiculous. But anyway, that's another topic, another podcast. If there are things for free and there are things that we pay for and we still use money to pay for them, there's nothing wrong with that. Stop being in old earth and having the ignorance of still anchoring yourself into old earth of a world of duality. That's old earth duality. Financial system has to just go. We need something that doesn't exist. Money shouldn't exist. Well, that's just complete fucking stupidity. Sorry. Like, I'm not trying to offend you. If you're offended, grow up. Because I don't mean it in that way. But honestly, it's time to grow the fuck up and wake up for real. Okay, so there's your little slap in the face for me. The actual system doesn't fucking matter. Do you understand? That's not what matters here. Do you understand? Having a government, it's not about having a government or not having a government. It doesn't matter. Having a government when you come from oneness consciousness, having leaders when you come from the vibrational frequencies of oneness, the level of consciousness of oneness is actually a beautiful, remarkable, magnificent thing. When you have sadistic, parasitic psychopaths, like patriarchal forms of government, forms of money systems, capitalism, all the things, enslavement, that's the problem. When you function at a very low level of consciousness, your systems vibrate at a very low level of consciousness. You can have an almost identical system put in place on a new earth, but they're created from high, enlightened, loving, abundant vibrational frequencies. Everybody fucking wins. There's no reason why we all don't thrive. There is no fucking reason other than the parasites that rule the world on old earth, not new earth. Those parasites take everything from you because they come from those low frequencies of greed, domination, misogyny, racism, et cetera, right? Inequality, all of it. So when you have a system put in place, how New Earth functions, the system itself, we could literally be like, oh, we could just still have money and have a very similar system we've always had. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. But that system is not capitalism. It isn't old earth. It isn't run. It doesn't function because not everybody thrives. So you could have a very similar system where we still use money. Okay. And by the way, it doesn't matter if we completely change the system. And there are geniuses that are here for New Earth. They're like, oh, there's this whole new, dynamic, multidimensional, multi-layered system that we use. And some of it is this and some of it is that. Some of it's money and some of it is blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. And if it changes into something new, completely different, as long as it's high vibrational frequency and matches New Earth frequency, we're good. If it's something very similar to what we currently are used to, except without the evil and the corruption, do you understand that the fucking system itself just has to be a vibrational frequency, and the people running the system and making sure the system runs because they've become a high vibrational frequency. You don't run a system and not infuse your energy into it. So what is your vibrational frequency? That's the problem with old earth. It was all shit. It's all low. Do you understand? So new systems put in place cannot be created by people who haven't yet elevated to extraordinarily high vibrational frequencies. If you haven't become extremely high levels of consciousness, and I know we all love to just say we are so high. That's part of the fucking problem, people. Seriously, it is. Like, it's okay to wake up for real, meaning, oh my God, I woke up. I am waking up and I'm realizing oh my God, I'm so spiritual. I've been spiritual for 10 years and I'm only actually in kindergarten right now. True, authentic awakening. How many of your egos just got triggered by that? And that's part of the fucking problem right there. Whatever grade you're in, you should be celebrating, dancing. It is exciting to know what grade you're in because it's like, ooh, I get to master this grade. No problem. You got this. You can master first grade in authentic awakening because this is a brutal process. This isn't about how much you meditate and play with your fucking crystals and you do yoga 3 times a week. That's somehow that means you're an awakened being. Get the fuck out of here. You should know better by now, especially if you listen to me. Okay, I'm here as a radical, authentic spiritual teacher of oneness consciousness, bringing you what you can do and become to awaken actually, authentically, for real, with integrity, with wisdom, with unconditional love, with purity, with loyalty to the process of your own soul integration and all the ways of oneness, the way of harmony. Do you understand? That's my job. That's my soul's. That's why I'm here. I have a responsibility as the way of responsibility to give this to you. You understand? So that's why I don't ever bullshit you. And I ain't here to tell you what you want to fucking hear. Anybody listen to me more than 10 minutes knows that. Okay. I'm not here to coddle your fucking ego. I'm here to shatter it and wake you up for real. And if you don't want to wake up and you don't want to listen, that's okay. I'm not going to judge you for it. Just go away. You just stop wasting your time and mine. That's how we function. Really, truly, on a new earth. It's that raw because that's the way of truth. That's the way of integrity. That's actually the way of purity. Okay. Now, you understand all that, then it will be very easy for you to understand what I'm going to offer you today in today's teaching. You will never make money on New Earth if you don't do this one thing. And I'm so serious about this, okay? So again, let me say one more thing. I'm reminding you, right now, we still have a system of money. And I'm not pretend to know what's going to happen with this system because again, it doesn't effing matter. Literally, it doesn't matter if we keep money and the pretend digits on the screen or not. It does not matter on a new earth. What matters is the vibrational frequency of those managing and running the systems. That's what matters. That's all that matters. And it's all that ever has mattered. So get over the brainwashing, the duality that some of you are really still trapped in. Well, that money system, we got to get rid of the whole thing. Really? Do we though? Because we don't. Now, could we? Sure. Do you understand? It doesn't effing matter. The vibrational frequency of the systems that are upheld, maintained, run, or newly created, or a hybrid and an evolution of what's to come. The vibrational frequency of it matters. And what does that mean? Whatever it is that you're creating, your vibrational frequency goes into what you're creating. So if you're still really low level of all these people, they're like fucking 19 years old. What's my purpose? Get the fuck out of here. Your purpose is to awaken and to achieve a high enough vibrational frequency that whatever it is you do on this planet, you are creating it from a level of oneness, not low levels of consciousness. Get out of here. I have to do this for a living today and I'm 9 years old. Come on. Like, we really need to mature here. There are people who won't actually be on what they think is their purpose until they're in their 50s and 60s. Do you know that? Because the journey to prepare you is actually part of your purpose. Let that sink in. That's part of your purpose. All right? Now, having said that, those who are here to either just increase the frequencies of our financial system and however we're going to do like banking and whatever any of it looks like in the future. That's not my mission. So I don't know. I don't care what it looks like, and neither should you care, in the sense that the only thing that matters is that if we change it or upgrade it or, you know, do some sort of a hybrid and new creations and maybe evolve over time where money literally goes away and it's not something that exists anymore. Again, none of it matters as long as the people creating that are actually high levels of consciousness and they have become. I don't care what their intentions are. The road to hell is paved with the best of intentions. I don't care what policies you put in place. It's just ridiculous. Waste fucking time. You don't need you do, You need laws, you need policies, you need punishment, you need all of the need when everybody still functions very low levels of consciousness. That's old earth. Structures and frameworks benefit everyone when they come from oneness consciousness. It just allows people to have something to have a framework for. It's a guidance system. And those types of quote unquote framework, systems of framework, policies, laws, even when they come from high vibrational frequencies, it isn't you have to have this because the murderers and the rapists, these men that are blah, blah, blah. Look, that doesn't exist on New Earth. We have a framework because it allows us to compare where we're at, how we're doing as humans, as divine humans. Are we falling from grace? Are we slipping up? Well, there's our framework to compare ourselves. And that's the 20 universal ways of oneness. That's our framework to know how we're doing. Ooh, I need to become, the way of responsibility. I haven't been, showing up responsibly at work. Well, there's a framework and a system in place. And unfortunately, you're now going to force me to follow a protocol, bring you in and have a discussion with you and let you know, not exactly show up with responsibility. What's going on? What programs are you running? Why are you sabotaging? Why are you causing harm to everybody else in the organization? Because of your selfishness. You're not showing up as a way of self-service. Like, that's a framework. The ways of oneness are a framework for every organization, a monetary system of whatever that looks like. It's to exist in life, in your romantic relationships and relationships of all kinds. There's a framework for a reason, but they're enlightened frequencies that you yourself need to become over time in order to uphold a beautiful, functioning heaven on earth of oneness. That includes money. That includes as we move forward. Of course, we're moving forward with the monetary system. Even if it eventually goes away, it's not going away next week. It's not going to be completely gone in a month. Like that's whatever happens and however it happens on a new earth. It's not going to be gone in a week or a month from now. Okay. So however soon or long, I don't know. I don't care as long as people bring in their high vibe. So for now, we still use money. Okay. That's still part of our system that we use. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. So if you still need money to thrive and you want to earn money in beautiful ways, as much as you want, whatever that number is for you in your life, you can have whatever you want, meaning whatever you desire. Like the amount that you would love to thrive in, that amount is going to be different for every human being. And for some, it's going to be an extreme amount. For some, it's not. It's just going to be enough because you don't care. And others don't care about all of your personal preferences. There's nothing wrong with them. Okay. There's nothing wrong with what your soul wants to experience in the materialistic world. And I don't mean that as, language is limiting, but we are material, we're physical, we're tangible. You're literally, so the parasites in the old earth and the psychopaths take little truths, divine truths, and they twist it and they turn it into something really evil and selfish and blah, blah, blah. Remember that. So even as I say, a materialistic world, we live in a materialistic world. That's not the old earth definition of you're materialistic, meaning you're greedy and you're selfish and no. Everything is, we live in a materialistic world, meaning a physically manifested, I experience hydration by picking up this water in a material. This is a tangible, physical can of water that I'm drinking from right now in this moment. Do you understand? Like, it's physical experience. We're here in the physical form to experience all physical things. So if you want a little house on 10 acres of land, or you want a mansion on, whatever, a cul-de-sac, it doesn't matter what you want. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with the things that you desire. Okay. So pick what that is for you and stop judging it like you shouldn't dream big. because that automatically makes you greedy and materialistic and stuff. It doesn't automatically make you. That's fucking insane. Absolutely insane to keep thinking that. Get out of duality consciousness, people. Being dead broke and renouncing everything doesn't make you awakened person. It makes you fucking idiot. You're literally contributing to anchoring in old earth by creating this extreme imbalance in the systems that we function in. Like, you're part of the problem. So dream big. And here's the deal. If you do not follow what your soul is guiding you to do every day, you will never make money on a new earth. And right now, we still need money to thrive and live. You'll never gain other forms of abundance to benefit you in your dream life, whatever that means for you, if you're not listening to your soul. So you will never make money on New Earth if you don't do this one thing, and that's listen to your soul. Now don't drop off, because most of you, oh, I listen to my soul. I know what that means. No, you don't. That's why I'm teaching it. No, you don't. I can't tell you how many people, they're not listening to their soul on an everyday basis. No, you're not. You think you are, or you want to think you are. That's not a judgment. The teacher is here to teach. So learn so that you can help your own life. That's why I offer. Otherwise, why am I wasting my fucking breath? I already know this. I live this way. I'm good. Okay. So listen to what I'm offering. Don't go into spiritual ego. I already live for myself. But do you? But how broke are you? How much are you struggling? How much are you in scarcity and survival mode? Well, then you're not. Because here's the deal. And scarcity and survival mode for you might be that you desperately want a romantic relationship. Maybe that's where you're experiencing scarcity. Remember, abundance is abundance is abundance. It means everything. Maybe you're good financially. Now I'm being specific with money for the most part here, like I said, because a lot of people waking up and coming out of old earth and that patriarchal prison enslavement system in every way, shape, or form that it was created and that everybody was trapped in, as you are releasing yourself from that, okay, we still utilize money. And that's where a lot of people are trapped. I don't have the money. I don't have the money. I am broke. I don't have the money to pay for that. I don't. You're still trapped in that system. It's never a judgment. Never, ever, ever. It's just see where you're at so that you can get out of it. That's empowerment. Okay. So here's where the fastest, easiest way for you to get out of it. You have to learn what your soul feels like when it's guiding you, communicating with you versus your damn programming. I cannot tell you over the years, over the last 3 decades, I'm serious when I say that. Okay. And of course, acutely the last 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And then, you go from there where people, spiritual people, quote unquote, I'm following my heart. I'm following my soul. No, you're not. You're in your programming and you don't have the slightest clue that you're in your programming. Again, never a judgment. I'm not judging or putting anybody down. I'm teaching you so you can knock this shit off. You're making yourself suffer when you don't need to. Okay? So, your soul, so number 1, if you cannot sit down right now and in the next 10 minutes, if you sat down with your journal and in the next 10 minutes say, here are all the programs I run at any given moment when I'm triggered. I know what that trigger, when I'm activated in discomfort and emotional turmoil, I am triggered by, the orange psychopath that's a leader in the United States of America, violence, somebody cutting me off when I'm driving, my partner, my spouse, whatever. If you do not know these are all the mental programs, all the emotional programs, all the behavioral programs. Oh my God, here's the inner child wounds. Here's the unhealed trauma. And here's how I alchemize that and take it a step further. I know how to do that if I'm triggered and activated in real time talking with somebody or having a conversation or in a scenario at the farmer's market or the grocery store or when I'm out and about shopping and running errands, I in real time, oh, look at that. That triggered me and activated. I'm triggered right as I'm having conversation with you, but I can alchemize it and I can switch and completely step off of that energetic frequency, detach from it while I alchemize it and I step onto and bring in a way of oneness, a completely enlightened frequency in real time in the moment. And I do those things simultaneously energetically. If you don't know how to do that yet and masterfully do it successfully, in all of its fullness and miracle glory that you can do it energetically. If you don't know how to do that just yet, then trust me when I tell you, no, you don't have the ability to listen to your soul all the time. Not even fucking possible. So there's the truth as the way of truth, not of a judgment. That never, ever, ever a judgment. But it is the truth. So if you're not there yet, your soul is being blocked from communicating with you by all of the programs you run. Those programs are energetic frequencies. Those energetic frequencies are streams of consciousness that collectively go into your bigger consciousness, pretending to be you. You're functioning as a human at that level of consciousness, which all of those streams of consciousness are making up your experiences, your reality. You're creating them all the time without understanding that what it means to be the creator. Ooh, now we're getting into higher level teachings energetically at the quantum level. Do you understand how complex this actually is, how multi-layered it actually is? So when I say to you, on a new earth, you're not making money if you're not listening to your soul. And that doesn't mean, but I am. I'm on my purpose, but I know I'm on, like some of you, you already know you're on your purpose. Maybe not the fullest extent yet, but you already know you're on your purpose. So let me address you for a moment first. Okay, great. Good for you that you know what your purpose is, that you're here to, maybe be a part of a big organization. Maybe you're here to help rescue and save animals, and that's your big purpose. Maybe you're here to be a healer of some kind and offer psychic services of some kind or whatever. Maybe you're here to bring the, tech to a nonprofit and help them thrive because you're the tech mastermind behind, or the marketing mastermind behind all the things, and the advertising mastermind. Maybe that's what you're here to bring and be a part of. Maybe you know what your purpose is, and whatever your purpose is perfect and beautiful and glorious. But just because you know that, yep, I'm part of the organization, I'm my business or my whatever, that's my purpose, doesn't mean you're earning money from it in the highest, most abundant way. And you know why? Because it does not mean you're listening to your soul every day, all day. And if you are off track of what you're supposed to be learning, growing, and expanding into, what I always refer to as becoming, if you're off track of your becoming, you are literally blocking the experience of abundance in certain forms. Now, you're creating the experience of abundance in different ways. And now you know it could be scarcity or a financial lack. Now you understand that's still abundance. The things you want or think you need the most, when we create a reality where money is how we are able to experience a degree of freedom, then you yourself are imprisoning yourself when you're not 100% allowing your soul to flow through. Because the only way you're free and a sovereign being is if your soul is flowing through you, integrated 100%. Your number one guidance system teacher in this lifetime is your own soul. And that means in everything you do. And that means when your soul guides you, your mind is the fuck out of here. Your mind is a dickhead, by the way. If you didn't know that, your mind's a dick. Stop listening to your goddamn mind. This is mindset bullshit that we do here at Masters of Self University. How about changing your goddamn mindset? Get your mind fuck out of here. Your mind is not, get it out of here. Okay? So there will be things that come through. This is a being, when you're a more elevated being, how you live your life, you don't think about things. You don't think about things. You feel the energy. What vibrational frequencies are lower or negative or whatever that are not, they are separation, duality consciousness, patriarchal consciousness. Going to alchemize those and get those the hell out of here. What frequencies here are enlightened frequencies of oneness consciousness? Those are the ones I'm going to pay attention to. My guidance is guiding me to go do this thing. I don't know what it's for. I don't know why I'm being guided to do that thing. It might be help somebody, and the people that I've helped as a teacher for pro bono, and I'm doing it for free. It could be that. Okay. When my soul tells me, yes, act on that, I do it. I don't question it. Okay. There are plenty of things that my soul has told me to do over the years where my human self is like, oh, you bitch, fucking bitch. I don't want to do that. And I throw my little human emotional tantrum and I alchemize the energies. I alchemize those energies. I do not allow them to take me over. I honor them. I love them. I process them. I alchemize them. Okay. And back in the day, years ago, when I still had wounding and programs, okay, I just alchemized the program. I went into the wounding. I took care of the aspects of my inner child that were showing up as wounded, abused little girl, whatever the wound was that was showing itself to me. And I honored that and I brought unconditional love to it. And I empowered her and I allowed her to step into her divine power and awaken more and realize I'm an enlightened, powerful motherfucking being. I'm goddess incarnated. Good. Now there's no more wound there. Right? That's what you do. That's what you learn how to do. And it's all an energetic process, not mindset crap. You don't write in your journal about it and it's healed. That's not what we teach. And it doesn't mean you don't write things down, because it's not to change your damn mindset. It is to get out of your mind completely. Right? And I'm sharing this because when you move forward with something, it isn't about what I want or don't want to do. Enlightened beings don't function that way. It's about what my soul wants to do and use the human me to complete while she's here. So I get my mind, I get everything, shadow self, ego, all of it out of the way. I clear the path so I can blaze the trail. Do you understand? And I first have to blaze the trail for myself, meaning for my soul to flow through me 100%. And that's what I teach step by step everybody else to do in various ways. Okay? So if your soul is trying to tell you and work with you on an everyday basis, your soul is trying to tell you, go to this coffee shop. Go do this thing. Go meet with that person. Go connect with that person. And you have no idea why. And you might not even want to. That's why this whole take what resonates bullshit got pseudo-spiritualism. Get the fuck out of here. Grow up. Don't take what resonates. You listen to your soul, for crying out loud. And you can't hear your soul all the time clearly as the way of purity, that vibrational frequency. If you're filled with your ego and your shadow self and your programming and your traumas and your unhealed inner child, you're not a child. Look in the mirror. You're not 3 years old. You haven't been for a long time. So if your inner child is showing up, that's not your soul. That's your wounding. And those are streams of consciousness keeping you in that wounded stream of consciousness, which is why you're still struggling. So that means, wake up to this. My soul cannot clearly flow through me when I have all of these other things in the way that I'm listening to that are trapping me in those lower frequencies. Your soul is the highest frequency because it's a fractal of goddess, which is you incarnated. To understand. So these other frequencies that are not that come from separation and duality and all the crap, Like, that needs to be taken care of. That blocks your ability to hear your soul all of the time. You're not thriving. Your soul isn't flowing through you 100% when you're blocking your soul. And it isn't as simple as, but I meditate for 2 hours every day. Beautiful. Good job. Good for you. Meditation is a wonderful thing. The problem is it's very misleading and it comes from ignorance. People who teach you just meditate for 2 hours every single day and you'll be fine. That isn't, it's bullshit. It is absolute bullshit. I had an 80-year-old come to me, and I haven't told this in a very long time, but I told the story. It was one of my go-to stories that I shared years ago. And she just came into my mind. So she was an 80-year-old. Now, if you looked at her, that woman looked mid-50s, all seriousness. You cannot picture what an average 80-year-old person looks like and have any idea what this woman looked like. She looked mid-50s. She looked 60, maybe. And I mean, if I even say 60, like, I mean a 60-year-old who doesn't look like she's aging. It was incredible. Healthy, young, whatever. And here's my point. I think if I remember accurately, she had been teaching meditation for literally like 40 years. And I hope I'm remembering that accurately. I'm pretty sure it was like 40 years. So she started to awaken. She got into meditation, spiritual. She was on the path of awakening, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to the point where she started teaching meditation. And she literally woke up every single day, meditated for 2 hours every single day of her life, 7 days a week without fail. It's the first thing she did after going to the bathroom and brushing her teeth. 2 hours every single day. And once a week, she taught a meditation group. And she had done it for like 40 years. And she suffered from panic attacks and anxiety. So if the stream of consciousness of panic, if the stream of consciousness, which are just vibrational frequencies of anxiety, are flowing through you, you're not hearing your soul in those moments. Okay, I bring this up because I want you to be educated in a higher level of understanding energetics and streams of consciousness which exist and are alive through you. Anxiety is a stream of consciousness that flows through you if you have anxiety. And that stream of consciousness makes up who you are until you awaken for real. And we teach you this energetically, what that means, to no longer have that stream of consciousness flow through you, pretending to be you in human form. You're not hearing your soul in those moments. If your soul says, go do this program, and your ego comes in and your programming comes in, well, that would awaken us for real. I can't do that. I'm not going to spend money on myself in that way. This is crazy. But you go spend money in other ways that are stupid and not going to allow you to evolve for real, and you're going to waste 8 years of your life. You're listening to your programming, your fears creeping up, and you think you're listening to your higher guidance in your soul. I see people I've seen it for as long as I can effing remember, even as a child. I'm so serious about that. And that right there, you're not making money. If your soul tells you, do this program, go there, go do this thing, you might not have the slightest your mind might not understand why you're being guided to do it. You don't have to understand. That's your mind. Your mind's a dick. Get out of your mind. Stop listening to what your mind says. Those are mental programs. Quit it. That's your shadow self. Quit it. You don't think through checklists, pros and cons. Get out of here. That's old earth. You're anchoring yourself and you're still on old earth. That's duality consciousness, which is what patriarchy, where they want you. You can't critically think for yourself. Critical thinking isn't actually coming from your mind. It's coming from your soul. It's the guidance that you get that flows through your heart center. Your soul, human spirit integration point, is the center of the center of the center of your heart chakra. That is where the physical human being, you, because you're that, simultaneously, you are also an eternal, formless, divine fractal of Goddess herself, a soul that is having this human experience. You are both simultaneously. Human spirit integration point. When you can function from that point of existence, it is the point of existence. The human spirit integration point is the point of existence in your physical manifested self. That is the point of no thing, nothing. That's the 0 point, if you want to call it that. That is the nothingness, but it is a meeting point of your soul and your human self. That's where your soul flows through. It flows through not your crown chakra, not your third eye. It flows through your heart center, and then it flows to the other chakras. It enters and connects to your physical being, your physical self, in the center of your heart chakra. Okay? So those of you that are afraid to follow your heart, most of the time you're following your goddamn programming and wounding anyway. It's not your heart chakra. You don't know the difference. You're trapped in your mind and you're going off into woo-woo fairy tale land all the time, completely ungrounded, because you're trapped in your crown chakra, because you're all excited in your third eye, because the psychic abilities are coming online, except that you're not grounded into the human spirit integration point. You're not anchored into your heart center, which means you're not grounded into Mother Earth. You're not in balance. You lack the way of equality, because that means equilibrium and balance, because your soul cannot come in a balanced, powerful, grounding, yet connected to the cosmos all simultaneously way, which is that's what you're supposed to be experiencing and be led by in this lifetime. You can't have that happen when you are in your mind, when you're not listening to your soul, and you're not listening to your soul 100% if you're not achieving that. Do you get it? Now, do you get it? So when your soul tells you, go here, go there, go do this, and you're like, what the hell is this for? Get out of your mind. Who cares what it's for? You don't need to understand. There are people that come into my life. I'm meant to give them a chance here, let them experience that there. They're supposed to come in for certain reasons. And sometimes the reasons have absolutely nothing to do with me. The way of selfless service. Stop thinking everything has to benefit you all the fucking time, because it doesn't. This interaction between you over here and me, you people over here and me, my guidance might be connect with them, let them. They've reached out. Okay. Now we're connected, but what the hell is the point for me? Now, out of curiosity, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with what is this for? I'm curious. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be connected to you for. It's okay that I don't know. I live as a being of oneness conscious. I don't need to know. I don't function in my mind. Mind is a dick. I don't need my mind making up stories and then starting to create a reality I don't necessarily want. So I stay out of that. What creates my reality is my essence, the vibrational frequencies that flow through me. Those are the ways of oneness. Don't let my mind start creating some different fucking reality that I don't want to experience. Then I got to get out of it. Stop doing that. Just become the ways. And you won't do that anymore. So if somebody comes in or people come in and it's like interact, there's a reason always. I follow the guidance of it because I listen to my soul. I don't need to understand it. Eventually, the understanding comes in at the level of mind at some point. And that could be weeks, months, or even years later, by the way. No attachment, no expectation. If you're detached, energetically detached, and you function as the way of presence, which is the observer and the receiver, you're detached, observing what your guidance is telling you. Go here, do this, connect with them. I don't know why I'm supposed to connect with you, but I have, because my guidance, my soul told me to. And I'll just play it out and see what happens. I'm the observer. I experience what happens. And sometimes, as I mentioned already, sometimes that experience has nothing to do with me. It isn't for me. It's for your benefit. So I am then the way of selfless service because it's meant for you. And if that's what I'm being called to be in that moment, then that's what I'm going to be. I don't question it. I do it. I follow it. I take action in human form to allow that to come to fruition because you were given an opportunity, or you're given the gifts of whatever it is that I cannot, what I'm supposed to offer you according to my soul's guidance. Do you understand? This is how you live freely. And there are times when both of us benefit, or I'm meant to benefit. Oh, and you're not showing up. Your soul's giving you a chance to show up and become self-service or become this or become that, and you're not. Great. I get to step into my power and say this no more. They didn't evolve. They were not doing what the soul contract even was. Sometimes people aren't fulfilling their soul contracts, but they're given the chance to. That's okay. Then the guidance is, nah, this no longer needs to be here. They're choosing a different timeline. They were given the chance. They're choosing a different timeline. And you can whine and cry. People fall out of my life. Stop it. Grow up. Get out of here. It's okay. You choose a timeline. I honor your timeline. But at this stage of the game, my guidance is you're now the quantum entanglement of our time because you're choosing a different one. Oh, I'm not going on your timeline with you. No offense. I ain't going there because it's lower. It is a lower frequency. It is still duality. It's still the patriarch. It's still whatever. It's still that separation consciousness crap. You were given an opportunity to come over here and choose a higher timeline. You're not choosing it. We did have a soul contract, except that you're not fulfilling it because you're staying in separation, but you're clueless. You don't know it. And that when I say you're clueless, that's not an insult. It's not fucking an insult. You're not inferior to me. That doesn't exist when you're a being of oneness. So stop misinterpreting if you still do. You are in a different timeline. You are in a lower grade. That's the goddamn way of truth. That's it. It's that simple. And because you see that, because you vibrate at that frequency, your mind, fuck your mind. Your mind is a dickhead. As the vibrational frequency itself, you can feel because you are the way of truth, the way of trust, all the ways of oneness. They're over here in this silly example. They're not. There's no judgment. That's the truth, the way of truth. Their frequencies are not. Their frequencies are still in blah, 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 fill in the blanks. That is not my timeline. There is an openness where people can come in and join your timeline. And then after a period of time, you're solidifying and merging your timelines. Either you're going there or they're coming here is really what's happening. There's actually there's a transitionary period where your timelines are sort of open and they're like connected but not fully merged. Like you can merge timelines or you go into theirs and they come into yours. That energetically is happening all the time in like your interactions and your relationships with people. And then there's a period of time where, okay, now one becomes the other. So they're either going to fully come in on your timeline. This is dating, this is a relationship, somebody you're hanging out with and getting to, or not, or somebody, you could be your spouse where they're not elevating. And I know a lot of you have had that experience. And that's, friends, family, partners, romantic partners, spouses, whatever. A lot of you have had that experience. Stop anchoring into that old timeline. There comes a point in time where your soul says, okay, they had long enough. You're elevating, time to go higher. And you're like, okay, process, alchemize that crap and go. So when your soul guides you, sometimes this isn't for me. There's no benefit. Like I don't get a benefit from this. And that's okay. Because in oneness, there's no such thing as no benefit. Does that kind of make sense? Like I don't get a direct benefit from spending my time with you here. There's no direct benefit. You're lower level of consciousness, you're resisting, it drains my energy, and yet when my soul's like, no, you stay, keep going. There is always a benefit. The benefit is I get to become a higher level of the way of selfless service, for example, of the way of wisdom, because I can read all the energies. I'm getting practice reading all of the different subtle vibrational frequencies, the art of subtle energies here. And I'm mastering that even higher level because I can feel all the streams of consciousness flowing through you. Why my soul is now saying, okay, that was enough. They had their chance. Goodbye. You see it? So I'm gaining all the time, even if I'm not gaining in ways that, I would like to gain, benefit in these other ways. I'm still benefiting 100% because there's no such thing as scarcity or lack. There is only ever abundance. Those are the moments. These examples I'm giving to you, this is how your soul works through you. So when it comes to actually making money, so you thought I'd have this whole podcast just talking about, well, how do you make more money? This is how. This is how. Stop with here, manifest, write in your journal, 6-9, fucking quit it. If you're not following your soul telling you in your everyday scenario what to do, where to go, how to, I don't want to get this part-time job. Well, grow the fuck up. Why? Because it's a job you don't want right now? Well, grow up. Your soul's probably telling you go there and do that for a while. It's not about whether you want to do it or not. If you need more money, get the fucking part-time job, an additional one. Go do the work. You guys are so trapped in duality, but I don't want to do that anymore. I hear you. Trust me. I did that. I was trapped in hell for so many fucking years to earn money. And I was in hell showing up and doing that job as a therapist in the sick care system. Ugh. I've been there firsthand. I know. Okay. It is not about what you want. What is your soul guiding you to gain from this? And sometimes, even now, I'm really struggling with money. Go get a fucking job then. Get another one. Now, how do you know when to do that if that's what you should do temporarily? You listen to your goddamn soul. Your soul's telling you, go do that. So here's what then happens. All of your programs get activated. You're triggered into your damn programming because it isn't something you want to be doing. You go get this other job. That might be the key to, first of all, just letting you have enough money for right now. It's going to let you survive. So it takes that burden away. That might be part of it. Just a very practical, hi, you need money? Go get a fucking job. And the fact that it might be something you don't want to do has nothing to do with anything. Suck it up, become the way of humility, and go do what your soul's telling you to go do. That's how you live as a being of oneness consciousness. And you're going to alchemize and heal everything that gets triggered and activated. Because if you don't want to go do that job, well, what's coming up? So what's coming up for you there? There's your chance to alchemize it and heal it permanently. Okay. You then enter in the state of surrender, which is the state of flow with this position. So you say you take a part-time job that you didn't want to do, but you need the money. And your soul, your soul's guiding you, go, but that's not my purpose. That's not what I'm supposed to do. It doesn't matter. Yes, it is. Hear me, open your hearts. Hear me at the soul level. It might not be your purpose. And yes, it is your purpose. Because your temporary experiences are always a part of your goddamn purpose. Hear that. So taking that part-time job to earn money for now because it's going to help you survive and just pay the bills, it isn't just about that. That's part of it. It might be releasing the burden and the fear and the stress and strain you're under right now because you don't have enough money to pay your bills. So maybe this is going to take that load off and it's going to help you survive, even if it's barely. And yet there's a reason why you're being called to go to that place and do that thing. And if you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be a server. It's not about what you want. Because you have no idea that your soul is actually guiding you to go to that thing, because that you're going to meet one person there that's going to be critical for your soul contract. You will not meet that person if you don't go do this job. You can't know that ahead of time. You're not supposed to. You know why? New Earth people don't need to know 10 steps ahead. That's not how you work on a new Earth. Evolved beings, higher levels of consciousness, we don't function that way. I need to know why I'm doing that job. I need to crunch numbers, and I don't need to fucking know why. What I do need to know is if I'm triggered and activated because fuck, I don't want to do this. Oh, look at that. I get to heal that. So I need to elevate out of that, because maybe my soul's like, yeah, we're inviting you to become the way of humility. And that might be the reason and the purpose for that for a while. So become the way of humility. It might mean that in the way of connection, after you work there for 6, 8 months, 9 months, you're gonna meet a key person in your life, and you will only ever meet him if you're in this job. You're gonna miss opportunities if you're not doing this specific job. Even a job that you don't wanna do, and you think, "That's not part of my purpose," except that it is part of your purpose because a key person you're gonna meet 9 months from now, by alchemizing and elevating and healing all the shit that comes up because you don't wanna do it, that's when, through this job, taking this position, part-time or whatever, that is when key people are gonna be allowed to come in because vibrationally you're a match. Oh, can you see how this works? That it's multi-layered, it isn't just black and white. Stop with spiritual preschool, like, just put on your vision board what you want and you'll just get it. It's so more dynamic. You're a multidimensional being and every experience is multidimensional, even if you don't comprehend what that means yet. So for you to make money could be a simple process of, "Why can't I just manifest more money?" Because you're not listening to your fucking soul, that's why, so quit it. Do the work we teach you at Masters of Self University. Drop in, alchemize, get rid of your goddamn programming, alchemize and bring the way of honoring, the way of harmlessness and gentleness, the way of compassion, the way of unconditional love, the way of loyalty to that process and becoming those frequencies yourself when you're triggered and you're wounding and you're programming and your resistance and your tantrums and you're still a child instead of a divine adult, right? So all of those scenarios, going and doing what you don't want to do for a while. Well, there's a reason for you to be called and guided by your soul to go do that thing. And you don't need to know the goddamn reason. Get out of your mind. There are many reasons. So I become the way of surrender and I heal everything that comes up for me and I flow with what is and the opportunities that are given me. I don't have to understand them. I do have to follow my soul's guidance because if I don't follow my soul's guidance, I'm never going to make the fucking money I wish I could make. Period. End. It is that simple on a new earth. I might make temporarily more money and it's a little bit easier and I still have to do something I don't prefer. Listen to my words. I don't want to do it. Quit it. I am the way of surrender. I am the way of loyalty to what my soul guides me to do. And so I do that. And if I question it and I have a tantrum for that's okay. I don't judge that. I bring the way of unconditional love. I bring the way of honoring. I am the way of honoring that. If I have a reaction to it, that's okay. I just need to see it. I need to embrace it. I need to alchemize what's coming up. I need to nurture and enlighten my inner child if it's an inner child wound showing itself to me, whatever it is, whatever vibrational frequency it is, I alchemize that. I take that and I become what I'm meant to become, that this scenario is activating inside of me to show me those streams of consciousness that are still in here, to show me even if they don't exist in here, but I need to rise higher. I need to go to a higher level of humility, for example. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is through this experience. And so I embrace that experience because I am the way of surrender. And I flow with those things that my soul is guiding me to do. I don't need to understand jack shit. I don't live in my mind. That keeps you limited and small. On a new earth, you are expansive. You are becoming more and more expansive. And if money and financial abundance is something that needs to flow into your life or that you would prefer to flow in your life a lot more, then you better start listening to your soul because it just isn't. If you don't learn to be guided by your soul, it's your number one teacher. So the more you flow and allow your soul to guide you, you are on your purpose. Do you understand that? You are. Even if you're not, you are. And that means money will flow in more, and money will flow in more, and money will flow in more. And there are certain things your soul is going to guide you to make sure you are becoming the way of loyalty to your soul's living, your soul's purpose, what your soul wants to do versus your little ego. I don't want to. I don't prefer. Meh, I don't want to be here. Meh, 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 meh. Little baby, quit crying and throwing your fucking tantrums. That's not living by your soul. Oh, I'm trying to do it. My soul, I hate this job. I don't want to do it. I don't want to earn money that way. That's not your soul flowing through you. That's your ego. That's your shadow self. That's your unhealed bullshit. That's your tantruming little child showing up. I don't want to. Do you see it? Ooh, we have a new way to look at things today. It's not your soul flowing through you. Your soul flowing through you is like, oh, well, this sucks. And yet I'm here for a reason. Okay, so I'm going to flow with it. Because if I flow with it, it means I start to flow through these frequencies, which means I can then, as flow itself, which is the way of surrender, I can energetically detach from this experience, which allows me to gain what I am here to gain, which allows me to then elevate and rise above it and flow out of it. Ooh, next experience. That's how this works. When you're a master of energetics, this is how it works, quantum energetics. This is what it means to master the self. And it isn't to focus on money. Here's your last gift before I say goodbye to you in this episode. You focus on your soul and healing everything that is out of alignment with your soul in order to earn money on New Earth. That's it. You don't have to focus on earning money. One of the biggest mistakes on a New Earth you'll make. How do I earn money? How do we make this? No. How does my soul need to be heard, seen? How does my soul need to be expressed through this activity, this relationship, this business, this, my job in this organization? I don't care if it's healthcare. I don't care if it's entrepreneurship. I don't care if it's in tech. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. How is my soul able to express the divinity that it is? And that is literally in marketing and sales and advertising. Is my soul's essence being expressed as the way of purity, so accurately, as the way of integrity? Is my soul's expression flowing through this product, the t-shirts I'm making? I have a t-shirt business. Through this marketing, through this service, through this healing, through this fill in the blank. As a physician, through my chiropractic services, is my soul expressing itself the way it wants to express itself in human form? And if not, make adjustments. And if it is, money will flow the way money's meant to flow to you and in divine timing. Divine timing means there are certain things you are 100% creating and manifesting, and they're going in the invisible bank for you. And for some people, even though you are vibrationally, your soul is totally flowing through you, you have all of the abundance that you could ever dream of, and a million times more, 100 billion times more. It just isn't in your physical reality yet. And again, when you're flowing with your soul, you are the way of harmony with your soul flowing through you and experiencing and creating this reality, experiencing this earth existence through your physical vessel, through your human self. When you really are that as the way of harmony, you already have your dream life. It is already created. And there is a reason why, in perfect divine timing, it hasn't come into your physical experience yet. It's there. You already did it. Keep doing it. Again, get out of your stupid dickhead mind, because your mind is a fucking asshole. You don't need to understand it today. Your soul already has the wisdom. Your soul already knows. And because your soul already has the wisdom, I am the way of trust. I trust it in divine timing. As long as I'm doing what I need to do, as long as I, the human me, is doing what my soul is guiding me to do, all the rest of my dreams are coming true. And they're being integrated and shown and manifested in my physical reality, all in divine, perfect timing. Divinity is perfection. Divinity is divine timing, perfect timing. Do you understand? I don't have to decide when. Now, your human self might get really excited about it and want it right now. Enjoy that. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you might get really frustrated. Why the fuck isn't it here yet? God damn it. That's okay. Embrace that and love that. Alchemize that. It's okay to have a normal human emotion of frustration sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't let it stay with you. Alchemize it. Don't let it sit there and start creating a reality you don't want and blocking the stuff from coming in. That's where we make our mistakes. Let your soul bring it in as it's meant to come in. I trust myself. I trust my soul because I am my soul. I trust divinity because I am divinity. I am the way of trust. So when it's supposed to get here, even if I get, I want it right now. God damn it, hurry up. That's okay. But alchemize that. Don't live in that. Don't let that build up in you. There's a frequency you don't want to be in. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with feeling that and expressing that emotion sometimes. Don't live in that stream of consciousness, though. That's the mistake. It will come in divine time as long as I am listening to my soul and allowing my soul to run the ship here. So if you're allowing your soul to run the ship, listen to what your soul's guidance is. Do this program, take that class, sign up for this, take that job, even though you don't fucking want it at all. Do these things now. If your soul tells you to do it, do it. Break up. Live alone. Holy Christ. Spend time alone, you serial dater, serial relationship jumper, you. For the love of Christ, be alone. Your soul wants you to be alone for what? There's a reason for that, for God's sake. These are examples, and they're unique to you. But listen to your soul. When you don't listen to your soul, you're blocking abundance. Your soul is nothing but abundant. Your soul is nothing but financial wins because they can't not be. Do you understand? And when you're not listening to your soul, I don't care if it's in your romantic life and you're wondering why the financial blocks. Well, you're not listening to your soul when it comes to that. How's it going to let you have all this other stuff come in? You were the one blocking your own abundance. It will magically come in divine time, perfect timing for you when your soul's steering the ship. But when you try to be in control and you ignore your soul and you're supposed to, go spend time alone and live alone for a while and not have roommates or get away from your damn family. They're codependent crazies and they are low consciousness. You're supposed to elevate out. If you're not listening to it and you wonder why you don't have enough money, are you really? That's why. You can't earn money on a new earth when you ignore the guidance of your soul. It's that simple. Get out of the relationship, leave. If you're ignoring that and not listening to that, and by the way, I'm not talking about, but I financially can't leave right now. That's okay. Are you planning and doing everything you can to heal and elevate in order to leave? That counts. Then you're in the process of leaving. I don't care if it takes 3 more years. Do you understand? As long as you're doing what it takes because you're listening to your soul, not your stupid mind. Your mind is a dickhead. Listen to the guidance of your soul. The financial blessings and the money will come in perfect divine time. If you ignore your soul, you cannot any longer wonder why you're still in lack, financial scarcity. You're ignoring your soul. Really? How do you even deserve to be in abundance when you're ignoring the most abundant thing that exists, which is you, your soul, divinity itself, and you're ignoring that because you think the human you, well, I want this instead. That's okay. I'm not judging you for it, but you can't wonder why anymore. Why do you still juggle 4 jobs? Well, you're ignoring your soul. Your soul keeps telling you to knock this shit off, stop, break the pattern, heal, elevate out of it, and you're not doing it. So you think they're not connected because you live in duality, separation consciousness, which is where patriarchy brainwashed you to stay trapped in. You think they're not connected. Everything is connected as the way of connection. This is oneness consciousness teaching. So that's it. Listen to your soul. If you're not listening to your soul, you're not making money. That's what it boils down to. That's the bottom line. Let that sink in. Become a being of oneness. That means you're allowing your soul to integrate, and that is your number one teacher in this lifetime. And if you're listening to your number one teacher in this lifetime, the money will come. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.